Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, certified astrologer, and in this segment, I'm going to be going over the full moon that is taking place today. Um, Today at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So let's go ahead and get started here. This is a full moon, so there's always an opposition between Libra and Aries here, and the dynamic tension is going on in the fifth house, which is kind of a house of creativity and play, and the 11th house, where there's a lot of social engagements, kind of like liaisons between groups and everything. So this opposition allows for individuals to grow through that dynamic tension of Libra, kind of a balancing act between the two Aries and Libra. They're not necessarily very compatible, but that's how it is in this chart. Scorpion ascendant, these people are very attuned with regeneration, death, and regeneration, understanding that. So kind of evolution of what might be going on in the world, in terms of understanding kind of a new era that might be taking place, kind of thinking about some of the wars and some of the proxy wars that might be taking place in the future. So this era and wars are kind of predicting additional wars in the future, potentially. Then you have Mars and Mercury. Of course, Mercury takes on the persona of Mars, and vice versa. So Mars is a very important planet to look at because the Sun is in Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. Next, we have another area that I want to focus on is Saturn and Sun. So Sun is the ego, Saturn is kind of restrictive. So understanding this ego and kind of paring it down to be able to make sense of everything is important with it. So the opposition between Sun and the Moon is actually being um, so this dynamic tension that is taking place between the Moon and the Sun is being challenged by the Sun being there, and it's like the clouds covering up the Sun. So this restriction is important to understand here. And so something is, if it's something that is keeping you from shining brightly, and not letting you go into the full potential, then kind of unraveling all those things that might be going on is especially important. And a lot of times countries might be restricted from certain things. Of course, the tariffs are something that comes into mind. And so these are the issues that have to be understood better. Seventh house has Uranus in there, and Uranus is typically kind of like thinking outside of the box. So making partnerships that are not necessarily ones that you would traditionally think about. So this explains what is going on within the heavens. The dynamic tension is especially important. Saturn is kind of restricting that evolution of the sun to fully shine. Mars is kind of catapulting and allowing that allowing this to kind of evolve, and catalyzing all of that. And so this is what is going on in the heavens. This is the pink moon, by the way. Go out and take a look at it and do some moon bathing. I hope this has made some sense. Thank you for listening.